Welcome to our Media Mishir. We are now in Shabbos Daf Sadiches Amud Beis. We're going to learn a lot of interesting things to do with the Mishkan. Going to analyze down to the T, Be'ezras Hashem, how the shape of the Mishkan was, how exactly it worked out. This shows Leilin Nishmas Avi Moir, Menachem Ben Akiva, Rus Bas Shalom, Sal Bas Moshe, Aviva Bas Moshe, Latzolas, Vatzlochas, the whole of Klal Yisrael. Let's go. Tono Bonon. Shabbat Tzadichet Amud Beis, Tono Bonon. Kroshim, the beams of the Mishkan. The Mishkan had 48 beams, 20 on one side, 20 on the other side, the north and the south, 20 each side, and 8, in the west, past the extreme side of the Kodesh Kodoshim. Then they had 8 Kroshim. The door, the entrance, there were no Kroshim. There were Amudim, but there was something else. But basically, there were 20 on each side, then 8. And now we have a question about the size of the Kroshim. It does say, in the Torah that the Oivi was an Amma. The size was, there were an Amma wide, but actually not wide. There were Amma and a half over 1 Amma. And now the Brisa says, what we saw yesterday, Kroshim melamatan ovian Amma. In the bottom, the Kroshim, the thickness of the Kroshim was 1 amma, umelamalan kalin volchin ad ka'etzba. In the top they would taper up until in the top they would be as narrow as 1 etzba, much smaller than even a tefach, almost nothing. Shenema, it says yutamim al roishoi. It says that on the top of the Mishkan the kroshim are tamim. Tamim means they, according to Rav Yehuda, according to this opinion, they're like finishing off. It says by Yoshua Tamu Nichresu. Diva Yehuda. By Yoshua it says that the Yarden, the Nahar Yarden, the Jordan River split into 2 like the Yam Suf, but with one difference, that all the water that was running one way kept running, kept flowing. The other one stacked up like a wall. So it says Tamu Nichresu. After all the water have finished flowing, finished off, gone with the wind, finished, then tamu, meaning they're finished, over. Diva Abiuda. So just like over there, tam means to finish off, so too, but the kroshim, it means that, I'm sorry, but it means that they would finish off like that, they would taper and became very, very small. Okay? That's Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Nechemia argues and says, Keshem shemelamatan ovian amo, just like downstairs in the bottom part, the bottom was 1 amma thick, so too all the way up, it was continuous, it was homogenic, it was all the time the same through and through, 1 amma all the way through. Shenema, Yachdov, it says about the Kroshim, Yachdov, they were together. Yachdov means together, meaning they were consistent, they were together, they were the same size all the way through, says Rabbi Nechemia. The Gemara Vaksiv Tomim. What would Rabbi Nechemia do with the fact that it says Tomim, that they have to be Tomim? How do you explain Tomim? Doesn't it mean that it finishes off? Says Rabbi Nechemia, no, the leisu shleimin velo leisu denisra. Tomim also means kapshutoi, tam, meaning full, intact, not broken, which means that the entire beam should be from one piece of wood and not nisra. Don't take 2 pieces of wood and glue them together or nail them together. Even if you can do it very professionally, don't take 2 pieces and make 1 beam out of them. The entire beam has to be 1 piece of wood, and that's what Tami means. Tamim as Tamim is a whole sholem. According to Rabbi Yehuda, if he says that they were not equal all the way through, they would go up like this. So it says Yachdov. What does Yachdov mean? Yachdov l'chora, all the way through the same size, not changing in the middle. Says the Gemara, no. Yachdov means something else. Yachdov means that they should all stand one next to each other, and they would all be smooth and not zigzagging. We had the word shalchufinu in the previous daf. When you stand like one here, one there, like a zigzag, like all diagonal and not so well organized, that's called shalchufinu. The kroshim should not be jittering or protruding the wrong way. They should all be perfectly, next to each other. But they all look like a mountain. They all are like conically shaped, although they're all are exactly the same and all standing in perfect unison. That's how Rabbi Yehuda explains. Okay, Ad Kan, very, very nice. Here comes now a different story. Before we continue, and here I have, I didn't get to email it to you, but I made a little chart over here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The side of the Mishkan, there's the stories as follows. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. Says the Gemara. Let me just give you a small introduction. If you look at the western wall of, not the one we have today, the western wall of the Mishkan, yeah, basically you'd have there, it says there were 6 kroshim. 6 kroshim. Now, the size of the Mishkan itself, we didn't talk about that yet. The size of the Mishkan was 10. There was airspace of 10. It was 10 from side to side, north to south. Yeah, 10 amos. And the length was 30. Yeah. In other words, 10 was a Kodesh Kodashim, 10 and 10. And then there was a Paroiches and another 20. Altogether, hello. Yeah. Look at the Mishkan, not exactly the nicest Mishkan in the world. Yeah. But this is the size of the Mishkan was 30. From here to here, you have 30. Yeah. Kodesh Kodashim and the other 20. From here to here, you have 30. From here to here, you have 10. Airspace. We are talking about this corner. Here you had 6 kroshim, each one 1.5. How much is 1.5 times 6? 9. Even I know that. You for sure do. So if you have 9, we're still missing half. We're still missing 1 amma, right? Because we said the airspace is 10. And here you have 6 kroshim, 1.5 each. So that's 9. Where do you get the other amma from? Well, really, there weren't 6. It says afterwards in the parsha, if you remember, there were additional 2 corner kroshim, 2 corner kroshim, one here, and they would also be 1.5. So that's too much already. No, but 1 amma of the amma and a half of the corner would be sticking to that amma because they were amma. This is 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 over amma. The thickness here is 1 amma. So if you look at the corner, 1 amma of it is attached to the corner, and you have another half an amma that relates to the air. So the airspace has 1.5, 1.5, but the 1 of each 1.5 is connected here. You don't see it from the inside. It's connected to that amma over here. So really inside you have 9 plus half plus half. Perfect. If your name is Rav Nehemiah, you're very happy. You're perfect. According to Rabbi Yehuda, that doesn't work. Let's see again. You can see it in the picture over here. They didn't make it that clear. It's a top picture over here in the booklet. It's here. It's not so clear. It's in the corner here. Now, okay. Basically, frek the Gemara. Bishlam alamando amar kishem shem lamaton ovin amo. Kach melamalan ovin amo. According to Rabbi Nehemiah, that there was, you know why I painted that black? This is Rabbi Nehemiah's territory. He believes that the kroshim, there was airspace of 10 plus an entire amma on each side, because this is the top of the kroshim, right? Together you have 10, 1 and 1, you have 12. So when you talk about the corner, great. You have 1 amma, another half an amma to go into the airspace. Perfect. Says the Gemara, Kishem shel matan evama, manav enama, hainu dechtiv, makes sense, uliyar kesei hamishkan yama, to the corners of the Mishkan to the west, the western wall of the Mishkan, tas shisha kroshim, very good. You make 6 kroshim in the middle, 6 times 1.5, 9. Vishnei kroshim tas mikzois, 2 kroshim to the real corners, the mamish corner. The asi putya dehani, the width of those dehani is connected and filling the corner of that. Meaning this 1.5, 1 is relating to here, the other half is filling the necessary airspace, and the exact thing over here, 1.5. I have 2 halves amas to fill in the airspace, plus 9 plus half. The world's yours, 10. I have an inner space of 10 amos. Great. And that half amma of each keresh, because each keresh is 1.5. 1 that relates to here, and another half here. Very good. That's Rav Yud, that's Rav Nehemiah. Great. But the sumcha dehani, If your name is Rav Yehuda, this doesn't exist. There's no top. The top is minuscule, is nothing. So what comes out? Hi ayil thy nothing. Think what happens. They remain 10. Yeah, they remain be'etzem 10. You have 9 inside plus 1.5. You have 1.5, 1.5. You have 9, right? Then you have too much. You have in the corners, you have here, and those are also small and they're not related. Here they made the picture very well. Here, yes. Look at the picture, this one. You see? It's very hard to tell online. Basically, there's a thin line going here, right? And a thin line that doesn't reach it at the end because the lines are so thin. So the ones, how much when you have 8, how much is 8 times 1.5? It is, right? What? Oh, you have 12. You have 12. That's too much. And those 12 are not covered. It's 12. And the inner one and the ones on the sides, those two, right? They don't go all the way there. They're also small. So they don't reach it till the end. There's an over, they exceed, they go over those are thinner, and those they exceed. They go over the line. They protrude on both corners. There are 12, and they don't reach the 12 because they're 10 and 10. Right? Here you have an espresso of 10, right? So the thin, tiny etzba finishes at 10. You still have 12. You still have an amma each side uncovered. And Rav Yehuda, let me add my own shtick here because I didn't see it anywhere. Rav Yehuda is the one who said that they have to be exactly equal, and they're not. You have one here, and you have stuff protruding on both sides. They're not equal because they're thin. They don't fill in the space. The thickness doesn't fill in the space nicely, according to Rav Nehemiah. I wish I had more of a way to show it. Yeah, but you're getting it. They have 12 over here, right? And here you have just 10. So you have protrusions of 2 amas each side. Simple numbers. Answers the Gemara, okay. Yeah, the shafilu kiturin, which means that no, they made sure to shave them off like mountains, which means those 2 corners, yeah, they, besides the fact that it was thin this way going up, also on the sides, this way they shaved them in. They shaved them like that diagonally, that in the bottom there would be all amma, but in the top they would diagonally, yeah, go be shaven halfway. So the top would be matim to the small one over here. Cutting. They would cut it like that. Look, like that. The keresh. They would cut the keresh in such a way, yeah, that it would go this way. Yeah. So now basically this is the inner side of the Mishkan, and here you don't have it going anywhere further. That extra amma in the top would be shaven off, Bekitzer. That extra amma in the top, they shaved it off like that. So it was a smaller keresh, like on both sides, to just fit in that extra protrusion. They would make sure it wouldn't happen by cutting it like that diagonally, making sure that it reaches the top and is mat'im to the north and the southern ones. Okay, I'll read it inside. I see that Ms. Shtikalis. Rashi says, yeah, okay, the shafilu, look at the second line in Rashi. The width, the extra width, the one that we're annoyed by, the extra of both sides in the corner, yeah, the width and the top, you would mekatzer, you would cut it, they shouldn't protrude in the corners. You would just cut them like that. So all the koshim were like mountains, so were the corner ones, both at the west and also at the north and south. So they would be cut on all sides to fit both the west and the north and the south. They would be like small and cut both from this way, that way. There'd be so much more mitzumtzam, so they would fit that etzba on top perfectly. I have it in my mind. I didn't have time to make the picture, but that's the way it is. Okay. Weiter. Now we're going to see something very, very interesting, and that is the correlation between the kroshim and the yerios. So let's make a quick summary from what we know from the Chumash, and also we also learned it in a little bit in Daf Kaf Ches. How many areas did the Mishkan have? There were 3 levels of coverings of the Mishkan. The top one we ignore right now. The Orach Choshim is not part of the story here. In the bottom of the Mishkan, there were areas made out of 3 types of wool and pishtan, yeah, and they were very nice and colorful. Rashi said it's noi, yeah. They were 5 times. There were 5 and 5. There were 5 areas. Each one, the length was 4, together 20, and that'd be sewn together. Then there were crossim of gold. They would connect it to another one of 20, altogether 40 length, and the width would be 28 of each one. So it's 28 over 40. 28 here, 40 over here. 30 plus 10 over here. This is 10 height. This is 30 size. Yeah. The areas, generally speaking, would be 30 and draping down another 10, 40. In the corners, this would be 10, right? There were 28. So 10 plus another 18, 9 and 9. Okay, 9, 10, and 9. 28 altogether. From this side, that's it this way. This is in general. So now, Zog the Gemara. The Bariach HaTichon, first of all, it talks about the middle Bariach. The middle Bariach, there were a lot of, what's the names? Bolts. 2 over here, 2 over here. This is the inner side of the Mishkan. There would be 1 Bariach that would go through, actually inside the kroshim. Inside the kroshim, there was a Bariach, there was a bolt that would go all the way, all 48. How can you have a metal thing going all the way to 48? It's an ace. The middle Bariach, as opposed to the top and the bottom, which were outside, were the outside, meaning protruding in the inside of the kroshim. The Bariach HaTichon was mamish inside the kroshim. There was a miracle. Why was it a miracle? Avada. You have metal. And the metal is like soft and going all the way through, bending. It was an ace. Very nice. Ratosis points out that the mice it's a machloikis. So other midrashim say otherwise, that the Bariach wasn't an ace. It was just 1, 2, 3. It was der chateva. Yeah. Now let's go to the real fun. The Esa Mishkan Tase Eser Yeriyos. When we say Mishkan, we always mean the bottom Yeriyos, the ones that are nice and colorful. And when you stand inside the Mikdash, somewhere between the menorah and the Mizbeach HaPnimi, what you'd see on top of you, if you look up, you would see nice, colorful, blue, red, purple, all together. Okay? Yeah. That Mishkan, the one on top of that, which we didn't yet discuss, is the Ohel. The Ohel wasn't as elegant. The Ohel was made out of Yerias Izim, from the wool of the goats. And they were longer, to be discussed later. There's a Mishkan Tase Eser Yeriyos. There were 10 Yeriyos, 10 pieces of fabrics. Yeah, fabric. First white line. Each Shariah, the length was 28 amas. And as I told you, Chadi Urkayu Lepusya the Mishkan. The length of 28 would be over the width of the Mishkan, over here. 28 would go over here, wrapping up the Mishkan like that. Kama havya, how much is there? Eser netamni, 28. Dal eser leigra, how much is the airspace? 10. The airspace takes 10 out of 28. How much do you have? 18. 18 divided to 2 is 9. Pashalu tesla gisa, betesla gisa. 9 on this side and 9 on this side. Very good. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, what doesn't make sense here? According to Yehuda, it's all very nice. According to Yehuda, there was no width, no thickness over here. So good. You just have airspace. Here you have nothing significant. 10, 9, and 9. So Lamaisa, the Mishkan, these are the Adonim. The blue is the Adonim. Since here it only gets to 9, and the Adonim are 1 amma high, so basically the area would cover the entire Karish up to the Adonim. That's very nice. You have the Adonim nice, made out of silver pieces, 100 of them, and the draping would get just down to here. Okay, very nice. Now, Rabbi Nechemia, it's different. How much would be over here? 12, according to Nechemia. 10 plus, according to Rabbi Nechemia, you have 1 amma here and 1 here. So you have 12. How much do you have left? Less, 16. altogether. Therefore, you have one amma less. Lav Nehemiah migali amma dekroshim. Very good. The code of Nehemiah, because you spent the one amma over here, here you are one amma short. So you don't reach over here, you reach one amma above, right? Obviously, that amma you already spent over here, you used over here. You can't have the cake and eat it, and therefore here you have one amma shorter, and therefore it's two ammas are uncovered, the Adonim, and one amma on top. That's Rabbi Nehemiah. Now continues the Gemara. Okay, let's continue to that side. That side now. How much is there over here? Let's see. Shadi putayu leorka the Mishkan. The width of them is now draped over the length of the Mishkan. Kama havya. How much is there? Hama adder arboin. Well, you have 40. Why 40? 30 is the airspace, right? Plus 10. Okay, plus 10 over here. Here, the entrance, which was empty, there was no Mishkan. The Mishkan, the first set of Yerios were not draped over here. Here, mitzad, the Mishkan was completely open. So they started here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. 10 plus the bottom was 10, 10, 30. 30 plus 10 in the bottom, the western wall. 30 plus 10, 40. Oh, very nice. So kama arboin da klosin igra. 30 covers the airspace of the igra of the wall. It was the wall. There was no other wall. Pasha lehu, you have 10. Rabbi Yehuda mechasya amad adonim. According to Rabbi Yehuda, this did not exist. It was just an etzba, a garnished. So you only have 30 airspace. That's it. And nothing over here, etzba, and then you have 10 over here. It covered the whole thing, including the Adonim. It covered all the 10. 30, this is not here. Plus 10, it covered the whole thing, the 10, according to Rabbi Yehuda. According to Rabbi Nehemiah, Megalia Amad Adonim. Rabbi Nehemiah is always one amma short when it comes to the side, because he always has to spend one amma for the thickness over here. In other words, according to him, the top has to have 31 ammas, right? 30 airspace plus 1 thickness. 31, how much do you have over here out of 40? 9. Ooh. The Adonim, according to him, are uncovered. Just the Adonim, that's Rabbi Nehemiah. Good thing, this box, no? Now, weiter. To be zoned for the Mishkan, but you know, what can I do? That's what I found at home. Weiter. Okay, now, zog the Gemara weiter. What about the next ones? And top of the Mishkan was the Ohel, Yerias Ohel. They were different in many ways. They were wider both this way and bigger that way. First of all, I'll tell you, they're not 5 and 5. They were 5 and 6. Yeah, problem from Chumash, okay? There was one set of 5 times 4, 20. Another set of what? Of 6. Yeah, 5 and 6. So you have 24, altogether 44. Yeah, if you look at all of them together, they had 44 length. Yeah, the whole thing 44. So now you're covering here 44, and on the sides they were also longer, as we're going to see now. The Sisa Yerios Izim LaOhel. Zokta Kadosh Baruch Hu to Moshe Rabbeinu. On top of the nice, beautiful ones, you make the not so nice ones, the ones from the Izim. Coarser, tougher. I told you it's more. How much more? 2 more. The one on top were 28. 8, 10, and right? 28 altogether. Those are 30. The ones on top are altogether 30, enveloping the Mishkan 30. So how does that work? Shadi ukayu leputia the Mishkan. Now you should throw the length of it to the side of the Mishkan. Kama havia, klasin. 30. Dal eser leigra, 10 goes to the airspace from here to here. Pashalu eser lagisa, daser lehagisa, 30. So simple. 10, 10, and 10. Who are we talking now? According to Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda doesn't have the extra. Rabbi Yehuda is very simple. There's only airspace and walls. That's it. 10, 10, and 10. They're perfectly covered. Very nice. So now, Rabbi Yehuda, michsia amad adonim. According to Rabbi Yehuda, only 10 leaves me another 20, 10 here, 10 here. So the 10 here covers the whole thing, including the adonim. all covered. Pashut, nice. So really, you didn't see the Adonim. Yeah, the nice one would cover down to here, and the black one all the way down. Nice, good. Now, what about Rab Nechemia? Rab Nechemia, Migali Amad Adonim. Simple. According to Rab Nechemia, hey, we had to waste, not to waste. We had to use 2 amas over here. 10 plus 2, I think it's 12, right? So now you only have 9 here and 9 over here. You know where this amma is? It's over there. I used it here. I can't use it here, right? So therefore, the black ones, the Yerias Izim, the Ohel, would not reach all the way down, would be 1 amma above, right? Very nice. Now, Tanenami Hachi. Here's a brisa to support what we're saying. Ve'ha'ama mizeh, ve'ha'ama mizeh be'oidef. It says amma in each direction would be covering, meaning the top ones, the Yerias Izim, the Kula Alma, would obviously cover 1 amma more than the bottom ones, right? The bottom ones were 1 amma shorter each direction. But how did it come out at the end? Depends who you ask. Lechasis amma shel adonim div Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Nechemia omer lechasis amma shel kroshim. Very nice. According to Rabbi Yehuda, you would cover the whole thing, right? According to Rabbi Nechemia, no. Only the kroshim, not the adonim. You would reach down to the adonim, not including the adonim, because we had to use it for the thickness of Rabbi Nechemia over here. Very nice. Baruch Hashem. We can rebuild the Mishkan, although we won't do it. We're going to have a better thing, the Mikdash. Now, I'm sorry. Apologize. Sorry. Now, what about this? Ooh, here we have 44. Papa, look at that. We have a Mishkan of what? 30, right? At best. 31, okay. For Rav Nechemia, plus another 10. And we have 44. Ooh, right? The top ones, yeah, were 5 and 6. 11 times 4, 44, right? So what's the story over here? Now, continues the Gemara. Shandi putaihu. You put the width, le'ulke the Mishkan, to the length of the Mishkan, kama havya, mem ve'arba, 44. So now, 44, how does that work out? Dal tlosin le'igra. Let's talk now according to Rabbi Yehuda. 30 for the airspace. Okay, that's 30. Now, Pashalu Arbasari, you still have 14. Okay, 10 is here. 10 down to here. Where's the other 4? We still have extra 4. Dal Tati Lekafla, Dechti Vekofate Seria Shises El Mupne Oyel. Finally, we're giving some attention to the entrance. Excuse me? The Adonim are those things that held the Kroshim. Yeah, each Keresh had 2 Adonim sockets, they're called, I think, in our scrollies, yeah? Basically, a keresh, they had like 2 bases, yeah? 2 things that hold it at its base. Now, this is the opening. The opening had 2 amos, yeah? The Midrash says, we'll see later, similar, like a kala covering your face. You have 2 amos over here, draped on the face of the Mishkan. So 2 over here, and 2 over here. At the end, 2 would be like dragging on the ground, like a kala. Yeah, so okay, again, 30, 10, 2 on the top, at the front, and 2 dragging behind. Altogether, 44. The world is great. That's Rabbi Yehuda. Dal los in the igra. You have 30 for the roof, the airspace on top. Pashalu arbasari. You have 14 left. Dal tarti lekafla. I'm repeating, yeah? Dal tarti lekafla. You now take off 2 for the front, like kipul, like the front fold of the top. The 6th area, the extra one, yeah, kafata, half of it covers the pnei ohel, the front of the Mishkan. Pashalu tarti sari. You have 12, right? For the bottom, you have 12, yeah? 32 plus 12. Now, Bishlam Rabbi Yehuda, according to Rabbi Yehuda, how much do you have draping and mamish dragged on the ground? 10 and 2. Very good. How much is 2? Half a yeria. Each yeria was 4 amos. That's in both up and bottom and top. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, very good. Hainu dechtiv, it fits what it says in the pasuk. Chetzi hayeria odefes tisrach. Half of a yeria is misrach, means like dragging along, schlepping along. Great. Mamash hazoi. Let's repeat. It's so much fun. 2 over here, good. 30 over here, 32. 10 over here, 42. And we have to get to 44. Good. 2 are dragging on the ground, and that's great. It says chetzi hayariya. Half a yariya is mamash on the floor. That's Rabbi Yehuda. El Rabbi Nechemia, my tisrach. According to Rabbi Nechemia, what does it mean that half a yariya should be nisrach, which means like dragging? Not true. According to him, how much do we have on the floor? 1, because he's always 1 short, because he always used 1 over here. So he always has 1 short over here. Can't have the cake and eat it. Rabbi Nechemia used the 1 here, so it can't be over here. So it's true. According to Nechemia, you have 2 plus 31 plus 10 plus 1. Only 1, not 2 are dragging on the floor. And it says half the area is on the floor. The Choira, Eshailon Rabbi Nechemia. And it says the Gemara, you know what's Tisrach? Tisrach mechavroiseha. Doesn't mean that the half a area is completely on the ground. Relative to the rest of the areas, it is more on the ground than the others. Yeah? It doesn't mean punkt half the area is on the floor. Half 1 is on the floor, and another one is almost, is like, getting there. Yeah? So the last half area, here it begins to go down, and here it's mamash on the floor. So relative to the other areas, which are completely on the Mishkan, the last half area is beginning to get diagonally on the ground, and then it's completely on the ground. That's what Nechem is learning it. Very nice. Wow. Now, just to make it clear for you, here I'd like to make an imaginary line. This is the Kodesh Kadoshim. 10 and 20. 20 is the Kodesh. Right? Shulchan. Here you have the other Masach. Right, the poroiches. This is the masach, the poroiches, and inside the oren and the kruvim. Now, if you make the cheshbon of 5 and 5, 5 and 6, as we said before, there were 2 sets of areas, both bottom and top, and they would be connected, the lower ones by golden hooks, and the top one by copper hooks. But the point of contact would be punkt here. Meaning, the point of where the 2 groups of yerios, 1 here and 1 here, and what connects them are 50 nice golden pieces. That connection would be punkted separation between Kodesh Kodashim and the Kodesh. Okay, let the Gemara say, Tana dever b'Shmuel, lema Mishkan doime. What does the Mishkan look like? Leisha shemaleches b'shuk. Looks like a woman who's walking down the street in the market. And when she has a long dress, so the shipulim, like how do you call it? There's a word for it in nice English, like the back of the dress that schleps behind, like a kala. I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean, yeah? The back of the dress is walking behind her. So to the Mishkan would be like that, a little bit behind. And I saw another medrash that says also her face was half covered like a kala. Because everyone agrees that we're 2 over here. The face of the Mishkan is like we're getting married with Hashem, something like that. The Mishkan, it does say, the orange is like a bedroom, this whole thing, yeah. So the Kodesh Kadosh, it says before she saw in many places, yeah. It says, Mishkan, since we have a little bit of time, Mishkan is very nice, Rosh Tevis. Mita, Shulchan, Kisa, and Ner. Because it says, but the Isha Shunamis that she hosted Elisha, she's a holy man. Such a holy man, she told her husband, let's make for him a room and Aliyah Sagag, quoted in Broches, more than one place, and it says, let's build for him and let's provide him with basic furniture, Mita, Shulchan, Kisa, Menorah. So Mita, he was a holy man, like the Mishkan. I saw it in the film of Oshim. I came up with the idea, Baruch Hashem, yeah? Basically, the Kisa, Shulchan, Menorah, you have Shulchan, you have Menorah, the Kisa is like a Mizbeach, there's a reason for that too, and inside the most intimate place, and nobody's allowed to go, is like the bedroom. It says, the kruvim, we're hugging, it's all very, very holy things. But Yidden, it's a very, very holy thing. And that's why the inside, it's like a kala. We're like marrying a Kadosh Baruch Hu. He's like our chosun. Yeah. So basically, Tono Abonon, Charutzim Oyu Kroshim, Bechalulim Oyu Adonim. Basically, you asked what were the Adonim. So here, one picture is better than 1,000 words. This is the bottom of each keresh. Each keresh would have 2 protrusions over here, and they would perfectly match the Adanim. sockets, mamish like a socket of electricity. You have each bottom of the keresh has two spitzelach, two protrusions that would fit into the two adanim. The adanim would give it the basis. There were 100 adanim altogether. Okay, so now, okay, charutzim or kroshim. The kroshim were charutz mean they were cut. Halulim adanim. Adanim were hollow in the middle to accept the kroshim. In krosim belois kekoichavim barakia. Now the krosim in the lulois, in the hooks, I told you in the top. Yeah, let's talk now about the Mishkan, the one made out of the different types of wool. 5 and 5, right? 5 times 4, 20, plus another 5 times 4, 20. 2, they're all sewn together. Now, how did the two connect? With krosim, 50 pieces of gold, hooks of gold would connect them. And if you look from the Mishkan up, they look like Kuchovim Barakia. Why? Because the general color of the Mishkan was bluish. Also a bit of red, but it was tcheles, Algamatulas Shoni, blue reddish, and they would look like stars. They were like golden stars in the sky. Yeah, that was the look when you look from the bottom. I thought of a very interesting idea. Maybe it's also something more deeper. It's when the Mishkan, let's now talk about the top areas. The bottom is beautiful. The middle is, just easy, but the top again was very nice. Or tchoshim. On top of the whole business, the tchoshim had no draping. They were only here. Yeah, they were 30 by 10 straight. Maybe 30 by 12, whatever, of the chemia. Yeah, they just covered here. And they were very beautiful. Sasgon, they were very colorful. And also the Aron was the same. Right? The Aron had gold, outside gold inside. In the middle was simple. The out is beautiful, and the middle and the inside is beautiful, and in between is simple. Similar idea, maybe, whatever that means. But the Aron, it's simple. But the Chacham has to, look mechubed and also inside, but he should hold himself like an etz, like he's a poshet. Tana Rabbanon, Yeriyos atachtoinos. How did the Yeriyos atachtoinos, the bottom ones, how did they look like? I'm talking here about the ones that were altogether 40. Shel tcheles is, like tcheles of tzitzis. Vishal Argaman of the red color, the Argaman more like purple, whatever. Vishal Tulas Shoni, Vishal Shesh, vei shatnez. Only in Beis Hamikdash you can have shatnez. Shesh is pishtan, is flax, right? Linen, but that was okay for the Mishkan. Vel yoinois shemaisi izim. The top ones, not the top, the top middle were made out of the wool of the izim, of the goats. It was a bigger chokhmah. You needed more skills to work in the top ones than the bottom ones. Why? In the bottom ones, it says any woman who is wise with her hands, she would spin it. Okay, wise. When it came to the upper Yerios, the one of the Izim, it says, the heart would lift them up with wisdom. They didn't have, BA, they would have PhD. They were Nosaliban b'chokhma, Tavos Izim. What was the big chokhmah of spinning the wool of the Izim, the top? We saw that in Nafain Dalad Mudbeis. Betania, Mishum of Nechemia, they would wash it when it was on the izim, and they would spin it while it was on the izim. They spun it, making mamish threads while it was still connected to the A's, either because it was fresher or nicer, or to avoid nida. Because in case the women were nida, this is mechuber lebehema. Mechuber lebehema doesn't receive tuma, so they're playing it safe. I saw this chart in one of the Foshim a long time ago. Tzlacha v'racha. They will be zoich to see the Mishkan. I mean the Mikdash. Amen. Thank you for your participation. Thank you to everybody in Torah anytime. Amazing ishtatfus. Thank you so much to all of those everybody who's mischazik in Torah nowadays. Every word counts to come to the final Geula. Tzlocha v'rocha. Have a great Shabbos. See you on Sunday. Thank you.